There's something humbling about standing at the base of a mountain. It's seemingly indifferent, quiet, and immovable. The mountain isn't impressed with your plans, swayed by your doubts, or worried about yesterday. This leads to the lesson that the mountain doesn't ask for your past, it asks for your next step. The speaker explains that for him, climbing Mount Humphreys, the tallest mountain in Arizona, wasn't the end game, but a symbol, one step in a larger commitment to build a stronger, sharper, more durable version of himself. Not just physically, but in how he thinks, leads, and endures. He wrestled with a bigger question. Can I really become that person? The one who does the hard thing? And here's the catch. Not once or twice, but every single day? This isn't a small change, but a death and rebirth, a recreation of becoming someone who chooses discomfort over ease and growth over validation. This means letting go of the past, which is familiar and comfortable, even when it's heavy. But the trail didn't care. It simply demanded the next step. So he started climbing, not to prove he could summit, but to remind himself of the person he was evolving into. Every rock, gust of wind, and burn in his legs had a purpose: to reveal, to strip away the unnecessary and leave him raw, focused, and present. Up there are no shortcuts or pretending. It's just you and your breath. And the question, will you carry on? The higher he climbed, the lighter he felt, because every step forward was a release of the baggage he never needed. He wasn't chasing a view, but shedding an identity, creating a new self like a chisel to stone. When he reached the top, he felt not so much victorious as he felt honest, like he had earned his place there. He stood thinking about life off the mountain and the challenges he still had to face, but now he had a memory of what happens when you don't listen to the doubt, argue with the fear, and just take the next step. Maybe this isn't really about mountains, but about life and evolution. If you're waiting for permission to grow, you'll never get it. If you cling to your past for security, you'll never move. But if you let go, trust the process, and take the next step, you'll become someone the old you could never have imagined. We all face our own mountains, whether it's leaving a job, rebuilding after heartbreak, or forgiving yourself. These defining moments aren't loud. They are silent, subtle, and incredibly easy to avoid, but they are there every day. Whatever your trail is, it will ask you the same thing the mountain asked him. The world doesn't ask for your past. It asks for your next step. Are you willing? The past will fight to stay relevant, reminding you of every failure and whispering that you're not the kind of person who does this. The longer you entertain that voice, the longer you delay becoming the person you're meant to be. Growth isn't about waiting to feel different. It's about acting different until one day you look back and realize you grew into those shoes. The speaker asks, what's your next step? You don't need to climb the whole mountain today. You just need to move, because motion silences fear, and action builds confidence. The path will reveal who you're becoming. Take the step, even if your legs shake, your heart's pounding, and no one understands why. Because life doesn't ask for your past. It asks for your next step. There are moments that feel like endings, but they might just be the next version of you. The speaker shares a personal story about a physical challenge, back spasms. At first, he thought it would heal in a few days, but it got worse, hurting to sleep and breathe. He found himself canceling workouts and rituals that were part of his identity. This wasn't just him whining. He felt less anchored because for him, movement is clarity and identity, the thread that weaves his life together. Without it, the thread started to unravel. His wake time shifted. He stopped tracking meals, skipped the cold plunge, and opened Instagram instead of his notebook. The part of me that would roar forward with focus and fire, well, he's just a little quieter now. He felt the wolves come, the doubts and false logic that whisper, "You're losing it," and "Maybe this is just who you are now." The cruelest wolf says nothing because it knows he knows. This was particularly hard because he had finally felt healthy again after years of struggling. The speaker explains that this subtle erosion of self-belief is what's interesting to watch. He shares an inflection point. One morning, he sat alone on his balcony and asked himself, "Do I let this moment consume me, or do I become something new?" This challenge, though it felt big and personal, was just another obstacle. Pain has a way of asking you who you really are, not when you're strong, but when you're broken. The wolves aren't the enemy, they're the test, the invitation. So he gifted himself the decision to face them with grace, to stop hoping they'd go away, and to meet their gaze. He's still here, and he's going to rebuild from the inside out. He reminds himself of perspective, saying, "It's not like I just found out I'll never walk again." The true wolf isn't the fantasy of him at his peak, but who he becomes when everything is stripped away. If you feel these doubts and whispers, this is your moment not to run or hide, but to rise. Life isn't about staying strong when it's easy. It's about becoming stronger when every part of you wants to disappear. When the wolves circle, you become one.